Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nathanias here, coming at you with a TvP. It's going to be on DayBreak, and if you guys already noticed, I've got a new overlay. I'm going to be trying out the one that they have set up. I believe this is actually kind of what GSL is sort of using at the moment. Blizzard's put out some new custom interfaces. So, yeah. But let's introduce these players before I go any farther. Spinning in the top right position as our red Protoss from Complexity Academy, it is Poo. And in the bottom left position as the blue Terran player from StarTale, it is Bomber. So I got this game, of course. Poo did release a replay pack pretty recently on Team Liquid. You can go check that out. But I'm pretty excited to see this game. TvP is one of the more, I'd say, volatile early on matchups in terms of changes in Heart of the Swarm. So I'm looking forward to this game, and I hope you guys are too. This interface is very different. I kind of like it. You can kind of see a little bit more. There's a little bit more space to squeeze through. So it's definitely an interesting change, to say the least. So we'll have to see what these players do and what exactly is going to happen. So gateway opening from Poo, not unusual. It feels so weird not have the interface here, but you can see so much, guys. I'm going to be testing this out, of course, in the comments. You can let me know what you think of trying the user interface if you prefer me to use the other one, or make any other changes. You know, you can always let me know. Open to feedback, but yeah, trying to put out casts at least one a day. So hopefully we get a good game here. We have a fast second assimilator coming up for Poo, so he could be looking to do something a little bit tricky. Bomber, though, opening no gas so far. So what he's doing is a bit greedy, going for gasless play. Oracles have become very popular in the metagame for Protoss players very early on. So we'll have to see if Poo has any intention of doing anything like that. And right now, it's looking like it's going to be a 1 barracks fast expand from Bomber. Very unusual in the metagame as of late. We see a lot more gas openers these days. So we'll have to see what he's got in his sleeve. But Poo, he's kind of bringing this probe around to an interesting position. It looks like it's queued up to go possibly place a proxy. Now the SCV-4 Bomber will not be able to spot this, but Poo is going to be able to get in there with this probe. He will be able to throw up a pylon and possibly go for some sort of proxy Oracle play. He does have these 2 gas geysers. Now, Bomber can recognize this by bringing this SCV in. Depending on whether or not he can take advantage of how many pylons there are, of course, he knows if there's no 3rd pylon, there might be a proxy. There is the double gas geyser, so Bomber knows what exactly is up so far. Stalker being actually going for a Zealot first. Pretty interesting, of course. Maybe he wants to put on a bit of pressure or defend. But there is that Stargate from Poo. And at the same time, Bomber, man, he went for that fast expand. He's getting up his additional barracks right now. He's not going for a fast bunker or anything. So he's just going to try to get his infrastructure up. And, well, this is Zealot for Poo. He has that Judicator skin. He's going to be coming over here and trying to do a little bit of damage to Bomber, perhaps. Now, Bomber's Marine is actually going to scout this out really quickly. He sees this Stargate, so Bomber knows exactly what's going on, but at the same time, he's actually going to throw on a 2nd pylon to make sure that he can't unpower this Stargate. But at the same time, he's got the Stalker coming out and his Mothership Core, so Poo is going to be looking like he could go for a bit of aggression with these units here. The Zealot is finally here. It's arriving. It will be able to defend this Stargate. He cancels the 2nd pylon, and now we have the Oracle coming in for Poo. Bomber, all he has, a handful of Marines. Remember, guys, you need 6 Marines to fight off an Oracle. So with the Mothership Core coming and this Stalker, this could be disastrous for Bomber. He doesn't have a bunker up the front. The Zealot will be able to deny mining at the natural expansion. So Bomber's in a bit of trouble now. He has 5 Marines right now. That's almost enough. He's not quite there yet. The Zealot will also be able to distract him. The Stalker and Mothership Core will be able to add further pressure on. But now, here comes the Oracle. 1 SCV killed so far. It's going to be able to get in here. These Marines are not in position just yet to do anything about this. Of course, if he catches the Marines split up, he'll be able to kill them very quickly. We do not have another Oracle coming in just yet. He started his Warp Gate, continuing probe production. So, looks like we're going to see an expansion out of Poo. He wants to use the Oracles to keep Bomber on his toes, apply pressure, and, well, he's forced him to lift off the natural expansion. So, Bomber now kind of caught inside of his own base. He has the Tech Lab set up, but no stim just yet, and this Oracle being so annoying right now, especially with the supply depot. It looks like Poo is going to be able to break inside of Bomber's base. He has the command center landed, but there's just not enough Marines here. If he brings this Oracle back, he could also do more damage. We have another Oracle coming out for Poo, and, well, Bomber, he's going to lose, almost looks like he's going to lose both supply depots. He needs to pull an SCV over to protect this. Marines trying to get this Zealot and Stalker. Time Warp used to prevent the retreat, but Bomber doing a bit of damage, but he will lose all of these Marines, and man, it looks like Poo's just in so much damage. 5 kills on that Oracle, another one is out, and Bomber, he's put a bunker in his mineral line to help defend against this, but the forward pressure is what's really giving him the trouble. The Zealot and Stalker is doing so much damage with this Mothership Core. He has the Oracle as well, adding on additional DPS. He might even be able to stop Stim from being researched, so this is very, very crucial moment in the games right now, and Poo is doing his best to hang in there and not die, but he's done more than enough damage so far. He's managed to keep this Stalker and Zealot from dying, so with these Oracles, he's in a really good position to take this expansion, move up, and Bomber supply block now. Only at 20 SCVs. He does have the 2 mules to give him an economy, but these Oracles, man, these are going to be a looming threat all game long. He's actually going to start making a Phoenix now, so that'll give him a little bit different kind of harass opportunity. The Bomber, he's in a bit of trouble now. Just looking at a couple of numbers, we have 7 SCVs killed, 14 units total, so the other 7, of course, must be Marines and the supply depots, so Bomber took a lot of damage. He now has an engineering bay up. He will be able to get a missile turret to cover, but this Oracle right now is just scouting. He's activated his Pulsar Beam. He wants to try to pick off an SCV if he can. He is not able to get one. And now another Oracle going to run in towards the Natural. He's going to activate the Pulsar Beam. One SCV dies. He's going to get this Mule, it looks like. Oh, no, the Mule barely going to survive, so Poo will have to pull this Oracle back. Now, he does have this Sentry up front. What is he doing with this? It's just going to run straight into Bomber's base. Bomber should be able to just pick that off. I think that was a bit of a misrally from Poo, sending that Sentry all the way across map like that. Bit unusual, but for the time being, Bomber is really in a difficult spot. He's going to need to get up his medevacs. He's going to need to put on a lot of pressure to pull himself back into a winnable position in this game. Being forced back onto the 1 base is difficult, mostly because his number of resources is going to be quite limited. The number of mineral fields here isn't going to increase, so as he drops his mules in his main to get his economy going again, he's going to be denying himself future economy by having his main mine out faster. So with 3 Phoenix on the field for Poo, he could be trying to put on more pressure. He has the Oracles on both sides of the base, and now he's going to run in trying to find any workers to snipe. There are not anything exposed, but Bomber now going to take his natural expansion. This Oracle poking in, going to delay this starport, so a good little play there by Poo, keeping Bomber basically out of commission as long as possible. He's going to throw down more of these pylons. His warp gates are complete. He's getting his transition into Colossi tech, and this is something that we saw a lot out of SKMC. If you guys paid too much attention to MLG, basically going for this this couple of Phoenix to shut down any kind of drop play, and these guys can also mess with Viking AI quite well. So with the Colossus coming out now, I think it's going to be really difficult for Bomber to hold a follow-up timing. He's got his stim now. He's starting to finally mine at that natural expansion again, but he's just getting his combat shields. He's got 3 racks. He's starting finally some medevac production to get some healing power, but the Observer already sees the whole army, and well, this Oracle with these handful of Phoenix are going to be quite a handful for Bomber at least. Now getting the gas in his natural and a supply depot. So basically, Poo, he's just kind of macroing up. He wants to make sure that when he goes to this next attack, he's going to win, and adding on 4 more gateways, Poo is looking like with his next Colossus or 2, he is going to be ready to go in and try to just kill Bomber. And this is going to be super hard for Bomber to deal with because, I mean, at this point, losing this much economy, he's got the medevacs out now, though. He can go for a little bit of pressure, but Poo playing very defensively. If he can catch them, he can do a lot of damage, but his Phoenix are actually going to be harassing right now, so he's not going to be in a position to stop this drop, or at least the pressure from Bomber. So Bomber's going to press towards the front, but the first Colossus is out. We have another Colossi on the way, and Bomber reaching Poo's tower. He's very close in supply still. Bomber, just displaying that Korean macro, but one of the supply depots shut down by the Phoenix. He did not rebuild it yet. He did not go back to building it to finish it, so he will be supply blocked for a little longer. And the drop's going to head into the main base of Poo. Bomber spreading these Marines out, but the Oracle using its Envision ability to spot these Marines. Maybe he wanted to use the Pulsar Beam instead, but a lot of probes are going to die, and he has a bunch of Marines prepared at the natural to run into. The Colossus does show up. He's able to pick this off, but now the Marines running towards Poo's natural. He's going to start to pick off a lot of these probes, but he loses basically everything in his attack. Is it worth it? Now let's look at some more numbers. 15 probes killed. So Bomber's equalized the amount of economic damage done, but Poo had the superior economy earlier on, so this could really give him a great position to get a substantial edge here as this game progresses. Now, it does look like Poo wants to go for his timing. He has a lot of sentries, has a good number of zealots. He has the proxy pylon from the Stargate, so he can make stalkers to protect against any kind of Vikings. And, well, looking at we have coming out, there are Vikings finally coming out for Bomber to try to deal with these Colossi, but Poo, he is getting ready to come in here and try to just kill Bomber off. He did so much damage. He crippled him, broke his legs out from under him at the start of this game, and now it is going to be Poo's job to try to end this. The scan from Bomber does see basically everything. The Phoenix has arrived. He's actually going to lose this one on accident. That is not a hallucination, guys. That's a real one. It is dead. So Bomber now does, though, have his 1-1. We look at upgrades for Poo. He doesn't have any at all. So if Bomber can get a really good positioning, if he can get a miracle engagement here, he could possibly pull this game back. Now, here come the Colossi. The Vikings are in position. He's trying to poke away at them. He's only able to peel about 75% of the shields off. But now it's coming in. Poo pressing into Bomber. He's trying to just kill him and win this game right here. And you know what? It looks like Bomber just doesn't have enough. The sentries are pressing forward. The Vikings, though, only one of them remain, and the Colossi are just frying everything with those laser beams. He's going to try to lift some of his units back into his main using his medevac, but is it going to be too late? He doesn't have enough setup to do this. The Observer will be taken out by the missile turret, but Poo just has so much, almost doubling the supply of Bomber right now. The Bomber's just making as much as he can, but he's got to pull the SCVs. The Marauders come in. He tries to get a fight here. The SCVs, though, are going to evaporate, and so shall the hopes of Bomber taking this game, and it looks like everything here is going to die. There's the GG, and Complexity Academy's Poo takes this game, so not bad at all. I have to say that was it's so difficult sometimes to deal with the fast Oracle pressure, but this is one of those reasons why you don't see Terran players go for the 1-racks or the gasless expands as much anymore at all. It's just so hard to deal with those proxy Oracles, especially with forward pressure. So a bunker really could have helped Bomber earlier on, not having to pull everything back and forfeit his natural. But alright guys, thanks for tuning in. If you like the Observer interface, please let me know in the comments below. If you like the cast at all, you should definitely be subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to put out videos at least every other day, every day ideally. But yeah, and that's going to be all. I'm Nathanias, signing out.